Hello, and thank you very much for joining us. Please sit back, relax as we take you through the steps required to become a chartered engineer with the ICE. Enjoy the course.
Three stages to becoming qualified. This is based on your academic qualifications, your work experience, also called initial professional development, and passing your professional review. Before anything, go to the ICE website and register for your free My ICE account. Now, this will provide you with an ICE membership number and grant you access to exclusive content, book your attendance at world-class events, or manage your membership. After successful registration, send an email to the ICE to confirm which membership category you can apply for, so whether it's ING or CNG, based on your academic qualification. You will need to provide the following information in your email to them. So your full university or college name, the exact course title, for instance, civil engineering, the qualification type, so MEng, BEng, HND, HNC, the course type, whether it's full-time, part-time, sandwich, or distance learning, the course start date, the course end date, number of years of working experience in the industry, and if you're a member of another licensed engineering institution, and the number of years. And finally, your membership goal, whether you intend to apply for ING or CNG. Academic qualifications. Incorporated Engineer, ING. If you have an accredited bachelor's degree, you already have the qualifications you need for ING. If you don't have a bachelor's degree, but you have a HNC or HND, you can work towards becoming an incorporated engineer, ING. You can either follow the technical report route, or you'll need to do a period of further learning to bring your qualifications up to the level of education required for ING. Chartered engineer. If you have one of the following, you already have the qualifications you need for CEng. An accredited 4-year integrated MEng degree, a bachelor's degree which is accredited as CEng with further learning, plus an accredited master's degree. If your course is not accredited, don't worry. It doesn't mean that your qualifications won't count. The ICE will carry out an academic assessment on it. If your qualifications don't meet the requirements, the ICE will give you advice on how you can top them up or suggest other ways for you to qualify. If you do not have a master's degree, you can still become chartered. If you have an accredited undergraduate degree, you'll need to do some further learning, or you can use the technical report route.
The Institution of Civil Engineers Professional Review is a significant milestone because it determines your readiness for professional practice. The review process has three components: the presentation, the interview, and the communications task. The presentation is the first part of the interview and serves as an opportunity for you to showcase your experience and evidence of the attributes. It lasts for 15 minutes, and candidates should focus on one or two key projects that are relevant to their professional review report and highlight their skills and experience effectively. Ensure it aligns with the ICE attributes. Highlight your role and responsibilities. Provide an overview of your project. State your position within your company. Also, talk about the challenges faced and the solutions that you were involved in developing and implementing. Also, talk about the outcomes. Remember, this presentation is about highlighting your personal involvement. In your presentation, use drawings and pictures that are clear, concise, and relevant. Avoid using too much text. Use bullet points, images, and diagrams to illustrate your points. Most interviews are online, and you will be sharing your screen during the presentation. Practice your presentation multiple times to ensure that you can deliver it within 15 minutes. My advice is that you aim to complete it in 12 minutes. So do plenty of rehearsals in front of your colleagues or your mentors. Prepare a script for your presentation as you rehearse the presentation. Also, time yourself to see how long it will take, and you can always modify it so that it can fit within the 15 minutes that you've been allocated. Speak clearly and confidently during the interview. Do not rush your words. Maintain eye contact with the reviewers and try as much as possible to avoid reading directly from your notes. Again, rehearse with your colleagues or your mentor, and you can always contact us if you require support with mock interviews and we can set something up for you. Now, during the interview, keep your reviewers engaged and keep them interested. Highlight the key aspects of your project and what you did. And bear in mind that part of the review is to assess your communication skills and how you deliver presentations. Okay. Also, they are looking at how well you can keep the audience engaged. So keep the interview engaging and be professional throughout. Imagine the interview as a discussion between you and a couple of movie critics. Your task is to convince them that your movie is wonderful and that you are an excellent movie star because you can demonstrate that you have excellent attributes that the critics are looking for. The presentation is an opportunity to cite examples from a movie of where you displayed those attributes. Think of the 15-minute interview as you given a preview of a movie in which you were the star. You must make the 15 minutes count. The movie preview focuses on you alone. So talk about all what you, as the star, did in the movie and what makes you amazing. The critics are not concerned about other stars in the movie. You must make the storytelling exceptional. Talk about all the amazing things that you did. Try not to use the word we, instead, use I. So do not say we performed, we decided, but rather say I performed, I determined, I conducted. Do not feel compelled to say too much so that you do not go beyond the allocated 15 minutes. Only give them a taste. There will be plenty of time for you to say more about a specific scene during the question and answer session, which is the actual interview. So, where the critics will focus on specific sections of this movie and ask you what exactly you did, why you did it, how you did it, and more importantly, how you learned to do it. Be ready to answer questions at the end of the presentation. This demonstrates your thorough understanding and ability to think on your feet. Prior to the review, try thinking about potential questions the reviewers might ask. I have prepared a list of 101 interview questions and sample answers. If you can go through all the answers and all the questions and get a feel for how to answer them, it will certainly help you. In fact, it will actually increase your chances of passing that interview. So please take your time and go through the 100 interview questions and sample answers. The interview assesses your competence across all ICE attributes. It follows immediately after the presentation and lasts for about 60 minutes for the IPR and 75 minutes for the CPR. So that's the Chartered Professional Review. The IPR is the incorporated. During the interview, the reviewers will ask you questions about your experience and report. These would be chartered engineers who have got several years of experience. So they've got a wealth of knowledge and experience, and they have gone through your report well in advance and prepared questions that they plan to ask you. The purpose of the reviewer's questions is to fully understand the depth of your knowledge in each of the attributes. Have a thorough understanding of your professional review report and the appendices so that you can discuss every section of your report confidently during the interview. Reflect on any areas you feel is lacking from your report. For instance, this is a very common thing we've seen from candidates. If your experience is mostly in project management and the report is deficient in the technical attributes, it is necessary to find ways of addressing that before you submit the report. However, if you've submitted the report, then you have to think about potential questions and be prepared for them. So again, I say go through the question and answer, the 101 questions and answers that we have put together. It will help you. Also, it's important for you to stay updated on current trends and issues in the civil engineering sector, as you may be asked about them. You know, during the interview, you could be asked about recent developments or industry challenges. An example is you could be asked who the current president of the ICE is, so the ICE, and also their goals for the current year. I advise you to watch a recording of the ICE president's address for 2025, for instance. Arrange mock interviews with mentors or colleagues to simulate the review environment. This helps in refining your responses and will help you manage anxiety during the interview. Get in contact with us and we can arrange a mock interview for you. Even if the interview is online, you must dress smartly and act professionally throughout the interview. Provide answers to questions in a structured manner. Use the STAR approach, which is situation, task, action, result. So use the STAR method to provide clear and logical answers. For instance, if you're involved in a piece of design work, you should start by explaining why the design was required. For instance, the client's brief, and then explain what the task entailed. Focus on what you did. So focus on your involvement during the action portion. And then finally explain the results. So if it was a system, did it function properly? Did it function based on the specification? Did it increase efficiency by 30%? Did you cut down production cost by 50%? Were there any residual problems? And what would you do differently in the future? Did you capture lessons learned? Be honest about your experiences and competencies. If you do not know the answer to a question, it's better to acknowledge it. Do not lie. The reviewers will dig deep and ask more probing questions and find out, you know, whether you really know the subject. If the reviewer's question is very specific about a topic that you do not know, then you have to be honest and do not hesitate to ask for clarification if a question is unclear. And this will show that you are attentive and to show that you have a desire to provide accurate information, which is a quality of an engineer, a chartered one for that matter. The communication task evaluates your ability to clearly and effectively convey technical information in writing. The chartered professional review candidates have 90 minutes to complete the communication task. And the purpose is to ensure that you can explain engineering ideas and topics in a clear and understandable manner. The chartered professional review candidates will be given a choice between two options, each having its format. So, for instance, a blog or a report. And you'll also be given a scenario, for instance, decarbonization in construction. And you'll be expected to answer one of them, and that response should demonstrate the ability to understand the information you've been provided and present them clearly and logically. Regularly practice writing technical reports, letters, and other documents. Focus on clarity, conciseness, and relevance. Familiarize yourself with the typical formats and styles expected for various types of written communication. This could include technical reports, clients' briefs, or consultation documents. Also, develop the ability to organize your thoughts and write them coherently within a limited time frame. So, time yourself during the practice sessions to build this important skill. Look for examples of communication tasks that have been done by other candidates. You can get in touch with us. We have a bank of communication tasks that we can share with you. This is from lessons learned from other candidates who have written the communication task in the past. Also, you can try speaking with your mentor to see if they can provide you with some communication task examples. Carefully read and understand the options before starting the task. Identify the key points you need to address before choosing which format and scenario you want to answer in order to complete the communication task. Structure your response with a clear introduction, have a body, and conclusion. Also, use headings and subheadings to organize your content logically. Write clearly and precisely. If the format states that it is, it is directed or aimed at non-technical readers, then it will be wise for you to avoid, very complex or unnecessary technical jargon and ensure that your explanations are clear and understandable. Also, endeavor to allocate a few minutes at the end of the review to proofread what you've written. You do not want grammatical errors, and you want to ensure that what you've written is actually clear, complete, and can be understood. I'll look briefly at a communications task. Two formats are given, format 1 and format 2. Under format 1, it states, write a blog for people with a technical background but without specialist knowledge in civil engineering. The scenario is this. Often, the communities that are at greatest risk from the impact of climate change are already at a disadvantage. What steps should the civil engineering industry take to ensure equity in the provision of infrastructure, both now and in the future? Format 2 states you have been asked to write a summary note to inform civil engineering students at your local university undertaking a piece of coursework. Scenario 2 states the balance of skills required by the civil engineer are generally taken to be some combination of structures, materials, geotechnics, and hydraulics. However, the multidisciplinary and unpredictable nature of projects could mean that a different balance of skills is required, including much greater focus on communication and the ability to learn and adapt to new situations on a continual basis. Have a good practice for this communication task. Feel free to review, and we are very happy to provide guidance. You can send us your attempts, we'll correct them, and provide further mentorship and training. Thank you. To conclude, the ICE Professional Review is a comprehensive assessment of your readiness for professional practice in civil engineering. By thoroughly preparing for the presentation, the interview, and the communication task, you can confidently demonstrate your competence and commitment to the profession. Effective time management is crucial for the entire review process. Ensure you allocate sufficient time for each component and adhere to deadlines. So, this would include time management in the lead up to the review process, like completing the presentation and rehearsing it, and also studying for the interview, and go through some past communication tasks. And also, you will need time management during the review. You would have to finish your presentation within the 50 minutes that has been allocated, and also the communications task within the 90 minutes allocated for the chartered professional review. It's important to seek feedback from your mentors and your colleagues and other people within the professional world. Do not be scared of constructive criticisms, because that would actually help you to produce a quality report, and it would help with improving what you've put down. So do not hesitate to contact us if you need mentorship in this area.